What's up, people of YouTube? I'm Karsatowski and welcome back to the Karsatowski YouTube channel. So this is going to be a series that I'm going to call Commentary with Karsatowski or something like that. So basically this series, I'm going to rewatch a PBA match, or sometimes it'll be a topic in bowling in of itself that I'm just going to commentate through and just kind of basically to just share my opinions and overall what I see of the specific match or the specific topic that I'm going for. So hope you guys enjoy this video. Okay, so this is the title match of this year's PBA World Championship. EJ Tackett, who is the absolute front runner of Player of the Year this year, versus Jason Belmonte, who isn't having one of his best seasons, but he's still in the top 3 this season. And EJ was the #1 seed for this match, so he had to wait for at least an hour and a half before he was able to bowl this match. Now EJ, I believe in the last 6 to 7 years, or actually I think since 2014 and 15, he may have qualified for the #1 seed more than any other player other than maybe Jacob Butcherf. I think Jacob Butcherf, Jason Belmonte, and EJ Tackett have qualified as #1 seed more than any other player in the last, I'd say probably 6 years. But I think this might be EJ's, if I could remember the top of my head, it is, I think maybe his 7th or 8th major that he's qualified as #1 seed. Now, if I'm incorrect about that, I'll fix it in post, but he's qualified as #1 seed a lot. And so is Jason Belmonte. But mostly, in the last 2 years, Jason Belmonte has been the lower seed, which in this tournament, he qualified as #4. And also, Jason Belmonte qualified as the #6 seed for the Tournament of Champions, which he won for a 4th time overall this year. So Jason hasn't qualified as #1 and 2 seed how he usually does. But he's still proved that he's the best bowler by winning the majority of his matches. And up until this match right here, he's 9-0 this season in 2 step-ladder finals.
Incredible. Both
yeah, they've been on tour roughly around the same amount of time. Jason got 9 years older than EJ Tackett, and he's so far 11 titles ahead of EJ and 12 majors ahead of EJ also. But I think within the next 10 years, Jason Belmonte will easily be top 2 for most PBA Tour titles, which that would be more than 43 titles, and he should have probably 20-25 majors at that point. EJ, I really do believe he can make it to at least 35 titles, which as of right now of this video, and as of this season, would put him at top 5 all time, tied with Parker Bone. And I think he'll win at least probably 8 to 10 majors in his career. So EJ, right now, with his 20 titles as of this match, pretty much solidifies him at least top 20. But by the end of his career, he's going to be top 10 without a doubt. And Jason, right now, with his overall wins in standard events and major events, has already qualified into at least top 5 all time, and I believe he could easily be at least top 2 or top 3. So this is definitely the match everybody's been waiting for. And also leading up to this point, Jason Belmonte is, I think, 3-0 versus EJ in major title matches. He beat EJ at the 2014 World Championship, the 2014 Masters, 2019 Tournament Champions, and then this year's 2023 Tournament Champions. And I believe Jason is also 7-5 versus EJ, all in title matches. They've only met in a non-title match one time, which was last year's Scorpion Championship, where EJ finished 5th and Jason would go on to win. So, and EJ has only ever beat Jason twice on TV, and 2 of them were in 2017.
dominance for EJ.
So Jason has the overall advantage over EJ in step-ladder finals for sure.
Shout out to the fans here. Incredible all week long.
Awesome.
And also, Jason Belmonte was over 300 pins away from making the number 5 seed for the step-ladder finals. And he went 11-1 in match play to average over 250. And he went straight using urethane the whole time. And this is his 16th straight game in the tournament, in the World Championship match play / step-ladder finals that he's used urethane, which I don't think any other player has done. Which also comes to show you the versatility of Jason Belmonte.
Number 16 today. Great Earl Anthony and Pete Weber tied with 10 majors each, second place.
That's interesting. Earl Anthony held the most majors record from, I believe, 1983 when he won his final title, which was his second USBC Masters, and then Pete Weber tied that in 2013. So Earl Anthony held that record for 30 years. And then both of them held the all-time major title record for 6 years, which was beaten by this guy, obviously. And honestly, I don't think any other player is going to beat Jason in majors. Anthony Simonson, as far as his ability, is really the only player who can get close. But I think by the time Simonson's career is over, I think he'll at least... So I think by the time Anthony's career is over, he'll probably have at least 10 to 12 majors. So I think Anthony could be at least top 2 and top 3 all time in majors. But Jason's got that category checked off as long as he keeps winning with the next decade of his career.
Family well represented. There's their dad on the right.
I don't know if Zach Tackett was in the audience of this or not. This was at least a week or two before the Players' Championship, where EJ's brother made a step-ladder finals for the first time. Actually, fun fact, I did bowl in a tournament with Zach Tackett before, but he was about 10 pairs to my left, and this was at Coleraine, which is a place no longer exists, and I was really surprised at how similar of a game Zach has to EJ, and also very similar hairline too, if I say so myself.
Or the head pin looked confused as it came across looking for the...
And I actually was within 6 feet of EJ in...
100%.
Yeah, I was within 6 feet standing room from EJ at a PBA event 4 years ago in Coldwater. I didn't say anything to him because he was talking to a couple guys over at the food counter. Me and my grandpa were sitting on the booth and I was right next to him, but I should have said something. I did say something to Jason though. I actually have a picture of me with him. I don't know, maybe eventually I'll make a video where I challenge both of them to a game. What do you say about that? Anyway, so halfway through this game, so both players look pretty dialed in. Jason is still using that urethane going straight, and now he's lofting it. So he's not trying to go too far left, because a lot of times with urethane, if you try to shape it too much, a lot of times it just won't read the lane property and it'll actually scoot 60 feet. Which is one of the problems with using urethane. But Jason is really one of the few players that I've seen who will actually go to lofting the ball when he's using urethane. As far as a right-hander goes, that is. It's a really good shot. Pretty much piping it up to 1-3. A slight angle, but not much. I mean, that's relatively straight compared to PBA pros, for sure.
On top of one another, he laced that shot. Break point 7.0, 7.0, and 1/10 of an inch difference.
That's really accurate.
Wow. Pretty accurate. What do you think?
Exactly. So with using urethane, you do have to be really accurate too. I've actually never thrown a urethane at all. And EJ's actually going a little bit straight. He's not going quite as straight as Jason is. He is about 5-ish boards left, but he's getting it to roughly the same break point. And his ball doesn't seem to be affected too much by that urethane either.
Well, this 43-foot Earl Anthony oil pattern, named after Earl, rightfully so, the winner of this event 6 times. And this pattern's holding up nicely for the players today.
6-time champion of the World Championship. Jason's a 3-time PBA World Champion. So he's got his work cut out if he wants to beat Earl with that regard. And if EJ wins, he'll have 2. Yeah, EJ's pretty much going hard and straight, throwing it almost 20 miles an hour. EJ's throwing the ball about a mile faster because that's a reactive ball that he's throwing. And he's going a little bit more up the back of it so it stays on line. And Jason's going about 18.7. So he's not throwing it as fast, but again, that urethane bowling ball doesn't have very high hook potential, so he's got to maintain his ball speed. You can see the multiple players World Championship winners, and EJ's hoping to join those players. That is a really good break right there. So when you look at the RPMs of both players at the top left of the screen, their rev rates are relatively similar, which I think compared to all players on tour, I believe Kyle Troop is top 5 or top 6, and I think the highest rev rate I've seen him have on TV was probably 535, and I've seen Jacob Butcher get up there right at 500 at times. And Jesper Svensson, the highest I've seen him was like 570. So, very high rev rate. And then these two would make up your top 5 rev rates also. And I have seen Matt Ogle get up there. I was actually really surprised when I saw how many revs he puts on the ball at first. He puts at least 530, 540. And that's a really good break on the 4-pin. That's a Chris Prather 4-pin break.
For Jason Belmonte.
There you go. When you keep the ball in line like that, it's pretty easy to leave single pin spares, but you can also get really good ball reaction if you have a lot of revolutions. There you go, perfect shot to respond. So EJ is currently down by 12 pins, so basically he needs to strike in the 9th frame and hope that Jason Belmonte does not strike in either the 9th or 10th frame, but either way, EJ Tackett cannot shut out Jason Belmonte.
This is where major championships are won, right here in the 9th and 10th frame.
What a finish.
I can't even imagine how much stress these bowlers are going through right now. Their heart rates must be close to 180 right now. Especially in front of all these people. Man, and on TV, under the bright lights. Can only imagine. There we go. That was a great break on that 10-pin. To me, that looked a little bit fast, but it was definitely online enough to get that great break. There we go. Yeah, that ball finished a little bit left, a little bit light, and it finished up in the 9-pin spot. Primarily, you want the ball to finish right in between the 8 and 9-pin spot for it to get perfect strike. But when you have high power and high revs, like EJ most certainly does, he can get away with his ball going a little bit light, as long as his angles are correct. You can see at the middle part of the lane, right around the break point, just before the markers down lane, his ball really started to hook.
And that's my concern with the urethane bowling ball after so many
And he threw that actually about half a mile slower too, so that may have had a little something to do with it.
That ball again on that right lane hooked early for Jason Belmonte.
And the 3-6-10 is not an easy spare for anybody, whether you're one-handed or two-handed. And he's left quite a few of these on TV before. Picks that one up nicely.
Covers, but now he trails.
Happened to him in the third frame.
So now he needs to strike out and hope that EJ does not get the first two in the 10th.
Max scores now 258 Tackett, 247 Belmonte. To have any chance, Belmonte must strike out here in the 10th frame.
6-2 all-time in TV finals. That's TV title matches, but in TV appearances, he's 7-2 because he beat EJ at the Scorpion Championship last year, and that was in the first match. And to me, I feel like that was a very similar shot to the right lane, but as you can see, the break point was at least a board right, and that is really the only difference maker right there. So as you can see, it's literally just an inch off from the last shot.
What a battle between two of the sport's best.
He needs this one right here. Anything less than 10, and EJ pretty much just needs a mark. That was probably his best shot of the match right there. That was dead perfect.
That was pretty good there. I was afraid he was going to move in and then leave a weak.
That was about half a board right of his last shot.
He absolutely
And all 10
aces
went
this
straight
shot. That
back.
fill shot, very important. If Jason strikes on this ball and EJ Tackett gets first ball strike in the 10th and 9 spare, we have a tie.
Massive shot.
That was actually a little bit left. That was about a board right for the laydown and the break point. You could just see how accurate you really have to be with the urethane bowling ball. I really think that's one of the reasons why the left-handers, especially two-handed left-handers, use urethane a lot, so that they can basically stay in the same spot for longer periods of time. I'm not a left-handed, two-handed player, so I wouldn't know that for sure. You can correct me on that if you actually are, but that's kind of what I feel like. He got that one fast too, got a similar break. So now he needs one strike. If he gets 9 spare, possibility of a tie.
For a major title, EJ Tackett 1 strike away.
And we have a Pabst 6-pack alert. If he strikes here, $1,000 sponsored by Pabst Ribbon right here in Milwaukee. Please remember to drink responsibly. It comes down to one shot for a major championship for Tackett.
Of all the titles that EJ has won, this is probably the biggest shot that he's thrown in any title match. Very similar shot, good break.
EJ Tackett wins.
Boom!
His second major of the year. The satisfying moment of the match, sponsored by Snickers.
Wow.
Nothing satisfies like a Snickers. Tackett. Thank you, man. That was a champion in Wauwatosa. Fifth title of the year. 2 majors. EJ Tackett.
Wow.
What a performance by that man. Taking down the best in the world. And he's all but wrapped up.
Absolutely. I mean, there's one more major after this, the Players' Championship. So that was the last event of the World Series of Bowling, and then you have the Players' Championship, the Roth-Holman doubles, the Lucy mixed doubles, the PBA Tour finals, and the Lucky Larson Masters in Sweden. So 5 events left, 1 major. And the Players' Championship has already concluded and Kevin McCune has won. So there's legitimately no chance for anybody else to overtake EJ for Player of the Year, which Anthony Simonson and Jason Belmonte really would have been the only two players that could have challenged that for Player of the Year. But EJ will win his second Player of the Year of his career. And yeah, I mean, great performance in that event and great performance all year to EJ. And that is absolutely the best match of 2023. And we still have a couple more events for the PBA Tour season left, but I don't think anything else is going to top that match. Well, I thank you guys for watching this video. This is going to be a weekly series of me going over different PBA matches and anything else going on in the bowling community. So if you guys would like to see more videos just like this or any other videos like my tournament video I posted on Monday, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you will never miss any of my videos. I'm Karsatowski. Keep watching my content and I'll see you in the next video. See ya, guys.